रिवीजन का प्लान मैं आपको बताऊंगा आफ्टर क्लास, ठीक है, इंशाल्लाह.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, uh, in the last class actually there was a random selection of slides, तो इस वजह से मुझे लग रहा था कि आप लोगों को एक sequential level पे लेके जाना चाहिए. That's why I have selected this from the start. So in that one, what we have to study, we have to talk about solar system and about the Earth, Moon, formation of the star, and cosmology. These are the three main areas in your space physics जिसके बारे में हम लोग बात करेंगे. और इन दैट वन पहले मैंने आप लोगों को ये सारा बताया था कि सोलर सिस्टम एंड प्लैनेट्स के हवाले से देर आर सम स्लाइड्स एंड इन दो स्लाइड्स यू हैव द पिक्टोरियल introduction, and after that we will move on towards the solar system and I mean further in detail about the black holes and comets, and this is the history of that all. Basically it started from 1610 and then it moved on and on. इसके बारे में मैंने आपको डिटेल में बताया था. We have gone through this slide, so I think there is not a big deal in that one. Then we came to know about the Earth and Sun and the Moon, that is 24.1. So the first thing we learned here, that is the formation of day and night. So when we talk about formation of day and night, it means there must be some sort of mechanism through which days and nights are formed. तो इसके लिए मैंने आपको ये बताया था कि the main authentic are still now the most renowned concept about the days and night is the rotation of earth around its about its axis. Okay, so that is basically the main origin of day and night formation. इसके हवाले से हमारी बात हुई थी, and then we moved on कि earth has a tilt, and due to that tilt it has been divided into southern hemisphere and northern hemisphere, and that hemisphere which is closer to the sun here, that has summer and winter, sorry, summer and spring, and that hemisphere which is away from the sun at that time, that has autumn and winter. To somehow this would be the situation, and the years were formed when the earth was orbiting around the sun. Okay, and it takes 365 days, and due to that, yes. So this is the slide in which we talked about the seasons. मैंने आपको ये बताया था कि basically earth is divided into hemispheres. So that hemisphere which is closer to the sun, that will give you the summer, other one will give you winter, and the month on that would be definitely I mean this is December. So in December, there will be winter on the northern and summer on the southern hemisphere. But in March, there will be autumn, or that is fall on the southern and spring on the northern hemisphere. In June, there is winter in southern hemisphere, and yani summer in northern hemisphere. So actually we are now in winter here, we are over here. It means the other people, they are not in June right now, they are also having December there, because that is a global calendar na. तो दिसंबर में हमारे यहाँ सर्दी है, but it is not mandatory कि everywhere there is winter. ठीक है ना. Those areas which are in the southern hemisphere, like I think Australia and New Zealand type areas, I'm not quite sure, but I believe so that they are there, the seasons are opposite. So this was discussed due to tilt of earth, और आपको अर्थ का tilt का भी मैंने बताया था, and this all is related to that explanation जो मैंने आप लोगों को दी. So this slide is related to the previous slide. The main area at which we reached in the last discussion, that was this one, Alaska के बारे में हम लोगों ने discuss की थी. So this all is the detail about that. Basically those countries which are the equator, they experience the seasons because sun's rays always hit them at the same angle, right? So that is why they have same type of season almost. Okay, the seasonal difference are most apparent and most apparent the further from the equator. So that is why I talked about the hemispheres, I mean poles and polar areas. So northern and they have extreme weathers. So in winter, the sun is hardly seen, and in summer, it can be sunny at the midnight. This is basically that sentence which refers the upcoming slide, which is related to the Alaska. कि basically वहाँ पे क्या होता है? Even in summer, midday में भी midnight में भी आपको क्या दिखता है? You can see the sun. Okay, that is why if you say that the sun dips lower in the sky towards the midnight, but then it starts to rise again. So this is actually that game कि midnight में आपका sun ऐसा दिखता है अलास्का में, but that is in only in summer, not in winter. Winter में दिखता ही नहीं है, तो summer में disappear ही नहीं होता. So this is the problem actually. So this is important topic months wala, because you are asked in some of the MCQs. आपको जो मैंने वर्कशीट्स भेजी थी, you people have seen those worksheets. There were some questions related to this. ऐसे ही था ना?
Yes.
जी सर।
So in those questions you must now के basically months we are talking about the lunar cycle. Lunar cycle में आपको ये पता है कि almost there are 27.5 days का एक lunar month होता है, ठीक है? The moon completes earth of every 27.5 days. Remember this thing, 27.5 days, and this is asked in your MCQs. And that is what the moon revolves around the earth. And when the moon revolves around the earth, it goes or it undergoes some phases of its shape what we see, that is called shapes or phases of moon. Hmm. Okay, so the phases of moons are basically on next slide, figure 24.6 जो आपके syllabus में उसने दिया हुआ है. As the moon orbits the earth, the half of the moon that faces the sun will be lit up by the sun. As the moon moves, the shape of the light part which can be seen from the earth changes. This is basically what I told you कि moon ऐसा नहीं कि moon आपका इस तरफ अपनी shape change करता. No, that is what we see. ठीक है ना? Is it clear to all? It is that shape what do we see due to the motion of the moon with respect to position of earth and position of sun. So that part of the moon which is lit up by the sun and that reflects the light, that is basically seen to us. Yes, definitely. Everyone. Everyone. Okay. So this is that slide in which in which I have explained you that in phases of the moon, I told you that you have to divide the moon into 6 parts. Okay, into 6 parts. Attend करा नहीं मुझे, मैंने निकाल करा. Into 6 parts. दादा को attend करके दो. Okay, so here this is the new phase, new moon. ठीक है? This is the full moon. Then this is the first quarter. Here it is first quarter, and this is the third quarter. So it was simple thing. You have to now about इससे भी question आता है. New moon. I mean, I have divided complete 27.5 days into 4. तो 27.5 divided by 4 करके दो जरा मुझे क्या आंसर आएगा? 27.5 divided by 4. हाँ मिला के दो. एक मिनट मुझे दो. एक मिनट. divide करो यार जल्दी
Point
शाबाश.
875.
Which one?
6.875.
ये 6.875 मतलब 6.9, तो ऑलमोस्ट 7 हो गए ना, विच इज ऑलमोस्ट 7 days. तो इसलिए हम लोग क्या कहते हैं कि वी हैव अ वीक ऑफ 7 days. ठीक है, एक मिनट हो.
Yeah, I
नाउ
get it.
नॉट एग्जैक्ट 7 days. ठीक है, चल लगा दो वापस, ये कॉल लगा दो आपको. So 7 days means this is day zero, this is your seventh day, this is your 14th day, okay, this is your 21st day, and again it is your 27.5 day. So actually, if I say that it is 7, 14, 21, so it would be considered as 28 day almost. Got it? So now is it clear to you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so in this situation, when we reach to the, yeah, when we know about the situation of, बाद में मैं खुद करूंगा. When we know about the situation of the 7 days divided by two, so the first half of the moon I told you, that was basically the waxing crescent. Why? Because the new moon was named as crescent. तो आपको इससे start करना है. So the crescent is increasing. So increasing its size, growing up. So that is the growing crescent or waxing crescent. Then then there is waxing gibbous. Gibbous mean basically it is your full moon. Okay, so it is growing to full moon or growing full moon, and that is why it is waning gibbous, because now your full moon is uh, basically decreasing down its size, and finally it is waning crescent. So these phases are important, so please recall them all. Important चीज ये भी है कि those areas or that area which is near to sun, it would be white in color, it would have it will be lit up. अब आप देखो, आपसे क्वेश्चन कैसे पूछा जाता है कि देयर वुड बी सम पोजीशंस ऑफ द मून shown to you. ठीक है, कि आफ्टर लेट्स से 10 days what would be the position of the moon. So of course it is this one. लेकिन अगर इसमें उसने यूं किया हुआ है, दिस इज शेडेड डार्क, दिस वन, एंड दिस इज lit up, so it is wrong, it is not correct. Is it clear to you? तो इसके ऊपर आपने फोकस करना है कि इसका जो शेड है दैट आल्सो मैटर्स. ठीक है, शुड आई मूव फॉरवर्ड?
Yes.
Okay. So we went through this activity. Basically, आपकी light reflect होगी. So wherever it will go after reflection, those all people would be able to see this part of this globe, not that one. That is the same game of sun. So it seems like this. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपका sun यहाँ पे नहीं है. It is also here. Sorry, moon यहाँ पे भी आपका. This is the full moon, but you are able to see the half. So that means that is the half moon. Then we reach to the solar system, and I told you that there are some planets in it, and in those planets we have seven, sorry, we have some 9 planets थे हमारे total. Now we are 8: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus and Neptune. So my very energetic mother just served us noodles. So this helps us from your starting classes to the end. तो आपने याद ही रखना है ना इसका sequence. So these are the planets. Then we have some minor planets as well in our solar system, and those minor planets are those which are having a very good, yani not strong, significant gravitational field, but they are not having uh, some regular patterns of magnetic sorry gravitational behavior, or they do not actually behave just like the solid masses. So there are 5 dwarf planets, ठीक है, which are just which we have, which we could find out, but it is believed that there are more than 200. Then we have asteroids, And meteorites in our space, there are millions of them, and there is a rock. Actually, these all are non-uniform shapes or non-uniform structures. Planets के ऊपर मैं आगे जाके डिटेल में बताऊंगा, इसलिए अभी यहाँ पे कोई इतनी ज्यादा डिटेल नहीं बता रहा हूँ. But meteorites and asteroids, they are basically the most asteroids are found in the asteroid belt between the Mars and Jupiter. Mars and Jupiter के बीच में आपके पास asteroid belt है. वहां पे there are millions of asteroids, or most of the asteroids. Then there are comets. There is a problem in the comets that they do not have circular orbits. Sometimes they come very closer to the sun, and sometimes most of the time they remain far away from the sun. ठीक है, तो इस वजह से क्या होता है कि they even do not have the orbits in the same plane. They can move in this way. They can have these orbits as like, यहाँ पे मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा. No, it is not here. That was one of my slides कि comet का ना पूरा एक structure दिखाया हुआ था उसमें. ठीक है, these are the planets. Yes, it was here. ये देखो, ठीक है, ये देखो बाकी planets हैं, but comet is going in this way. ठीक है, so comets have a tail, so that tail has a mystery or myth for a long time. But right now, because of the technology and some instruments, we came to know that the tail of that comet is basically the dust particles and gases behind it. And when it comes closer to the sun, it they are heated up and they becomes vapors to somehow, right? So this is the dust. Dust is not the tail of the comet. Actually, the tail always points from the sun, yani away from the sun. So actually the clouds are there, right? Yani these are actually some sort of clouds. Actually ऐसे मैं आपको बताता हूँ. For example, if there is a dust and you are going to incident a light beam in the dust, so what will you find? You will face some sort of scattering of the light. That is just the scattering. ठीक है ना? ठीक है, ये बात याद रखनी है. इसके इसलिए आपके पास क्या है? We have this, the sun's gravitational pull. Yes, this was the topic where we left, the gravitational pull of the sun. और फिर उसके बाद मैं इंशाल्लाह आगे जाऊँ. Yeah, this was the comet जो मैंने आपको स्लाइड दिखानी थी, that comets have very close position to the sun and some of the days, some of the time, and then they move away. इसके ऊपर थोड़ी सी डिटेल में बात करूंगा मैं. But before coming to that point, let's talk about the forces. Sun's gravitational pull. In your A levels too, you people would be able to now, maybe in next year, in syllabus changes, it would be added, because this is mandatory to now, that what is the origin of gravitational pull. Actually, when the 8:30
कह रहे बच्चों आधे बच्चों को भूख लगी
आप लोग खा लो, जाओ.
मैं तो खा लिया था
ओके जाओ फिर,
बात करने बातें हुई
दादा के पास है, जाओ. ओके, ग्रेविटेशनल पुल क्या है बेसिकली कि when two masses are closer to each other, let's say it is m1 and this is m2, and they attract each other, and everything in the universe, it attracts each other because it has mass. Okay, so all these heavenly bodies, just like your planets, your solar system, each and everything, they attract each other. They do not repel. This is important. They attract each other.
So even with the gravitational pull?
Sorry, can you repeat please?
I was saying that the bodies, like, why aren't they attracted to each other even with the gravitational pull? I mean, the gravitational pull, shouldn't it be like a kind of repulsion between the bodies so that
Never.
they can
Actually,
move in their orbits?
gravitational force never repel, and we could not find the origin of gravity.
So like how do they remain in their orbits, like if even if they're attracted to each other, like
Actually, gravitational pull is that type of force which is not due to some sort of charges or not due to some sort of poles. There is research is under process, or you can say in progress. So we could not find actually the origin of gravity till now, despite of all the resources. But we believe that graviton is the particle, or gravitational waves are the source of the gravity. So I cannot explain you right here that why do they pull each other towards it, because we just relate, or we just know about gravitational law, right? And we just believe that everything which has some mass, it will pull the other mass. This is the only information what we have still at this level. बाकी आप आगे क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स में जाओगे तो देर आर सम डिफरेंट गेम्स, बट at this level I can just explain you this, that every massive object attracts the other massive object. So that is basically that pull has has a calculation quantification that is directly proportional to product of both masses m1 and m2, object and subject both, and that pull is inversely proportional to the square of distance from their center. So that is why i I'm just going to make a simple calculation for you. For example, here if you see the product, if one mass is big enough and one mass is small enough, the force of gravity would be larger. Okay, and if one body is here and the other body is far away, let's say this is the sun, and we have one object here, second object here, and third object here. So as the distance increases, gravitational pull decreases. Got it? So you have to keep these 2 points in your mind at this stage, that gravitational pull is directly proportional to mass of the planet or mass of the object. Okay, and that is inversely proportional to the square of distance, or you can say that if you increase the distance, that will decrease. Okay.
सही है.
yeah, get it.
ओके, सो अब आप देखो इस पूरी स्लाइड में आपके पास यही सारी सिचुएशन लिखी हुई है, मतलब इट इज जस्ट सम इन डिफरेंट वेज, बट एग्जैक्टली द सेम थिंग, एंड दिस विल बी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू. ठीक है, नाउ वी विल टॉक अबाउट द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द प्लैनेट. देखो, ग्रेविटेशनल पुल, आई टोल्ड यू दैट दिस विल be there if you have a just a dot of mass, and it will be there if you have mean a massive body more than millions of times than that of the sun, right? Gravitational pull will be there. अब आप देखो, gravitational pull will be smaller for when two small masses are attracting each other, and it would be greater than any of the mass will be larger. ये जरूरी नहीं है कि if one mass is smaller and one mass is larger, the gravitational pull will be smaller. No, if any of the mass is smaller are larger, then gravitational force will be affected. For example, देखो, I'm just telling you this thing, that it is product of masses. So for example, if one mass is 100 and the second one is 1, the gravitational force will be 100. But if this mass becomes 1000, ठीक है, and this remains same, so that gravitational force will become 1000, isn't it? Do you get this point?
Yes.
ठीक है, so that is why if we say that the gravitational pull between the dust particles is existing, or it exists, and due to that all the dust particles come closer and closer, and when they come closer to each other, they cause a huge swirling of dust particles, and due to that, the massive particles are those objects which become massive. They comes closer, right, closer to the sun, and those elements which are lighter, they swirl or they orbit a little bit away from the center. So that is basically the game what we will talk about. So in this slide, in the formation of the planets, the evidence collected by the astronomers suggests that the planets are formed from the same, yani planets are formed as the same as that of the sun. The solar system begins as the nebula, yani everything, it starts from nebula, star, solar system, and which is a huge swirling ball of the dust and the gas. Most of the gases were hydrogen, but there were also other elements formed by the fusion in the other stars which had exploded and end of their life cycle, sending their contents out into the clouds of interstellar gases. This is basically the complete history, that when some stars are basically exploded, they send their materials or their remainings outside. So this is a model prepared by some artist. I mean, yeah, this is an artistic model. So this is the sun. It is said that it's the sun, and all these masses which are swirling around this one. So they produce this mechanism. If you just believe that it is similar to the real one, because nowadays with the help of telescopes we are able to develop very good and real time images of some sort of solar systems and galaxies and so on. So इस सारे setup को हम लोग क्या कहते हैं कि these particles are swirling around, and when these particles are swirling around, they will form uh, different type of heavenly bodies, and this swirling mechanism is called accretion disk, and this process is called accretion. अब देखो इसको मैं थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ. as the gravity pulled as gravity pulled this masses together, the center is a star. So in every solar system there is a star in the center. Got it? बात समझ आ रही है?
जी
And
Yeah.
star formation हम लोग बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे. So in the center there is a star. So all those gases which have been sorry, all those dust particles and gas particles which have been pulled very strongly towards each other, they are combined and they formed a star. Star formation के chapter में मैं detail में बताऊंगा. The planets are formed by the material of the nebula which were not pulled into the sun. Is this clear to everyone? यानी स्टार फॉर्मेशन में क्या हुआ, आपके वो डस्ट पार्टिकल्स और गैस पार्टिकल्स which have been pulled strongly and they form sun, but rest of them they which could not be attracted, वो आपके स्टार नहीं बना सके. They cannot make a sun which is the origin यानी center of the solar system. The spinning motion of the dust and the gas formed a flat spinning ring disk known as accretion disk. इसकी definition आप लोगों ने याद रखनी है. It is asked in few past papers because we have shortlisted past papers बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है, उनमें ये एक क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है. ठीक है, ये आपने याद रखना है. So gravity pulled dust and gas together, so they joined to make rocks, which then join to make larger rocks. This process of dust and gas begins pulled together by gravity is called accretion. So you must know about what does it mean by accretion. So the pull by which these small dust particles are getting closer and closer and they are producing rocks as rocks, and then rocks get together and then they become planets. That is called basically the accretion. बस तकरीबन 15 मिनट रही है. ठीक है, तो जब तक कैरी ऑन. एंड इट लेड द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ इनर रॉकी प्लैनेट्स. अब देखो एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चीज आप लोगों को बतानी है आगे चल के. ऑल द प्लैनेट्स आर नॉट ऑफ द सेम नेचर. Yes, these inner four planets are called rocky planets. आपको एक मजे की बात बताऊं, it is very simple law of nature. होता ये है कि those objects which are heavy, they come closer to the center. स्पिनिंग मशीन का मैकेनिज्म आपने देखा होगा. Those all objects which are lighter, just like water particles, they they move outward, or when they move outward, they are basically perforated out of the walls. Out of the walls, वो move कर जाते हैं, and that is basically the concept of refuge, centrifuge. In the same way, अगर आप ये देखो कि those dust particles are massive particles which were combined together to form rocks. They came closer, and they yani they made they were used to make these rocky planets. inner चार ही rocky planets हैं हमारे. वैसे कोई भी solar system हो, not on or on solar system, कोई भी solar system है उसके sun की surrounding में जो आपके चार sorry जो आपके planets होते हैं, they provide you I mean they would be heavy. जैसे जैसे आप further away जाते जाओगे, you will get outer planets, और outer planets are gas giants. बहुत बड़े planets हैं. इवन जुपिटर को अगर हम लोग देखें तो जुपिटर बहुत ही बड़ा है, ठीक है, लेकिन दे आर गैसेस. सो फोर इनर प्लैनेट्स, ये भी आपका क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है, व्हाट आर द फोर इनर प्लैनेट्स आउट ऑफ गिवन ऑल. सो MVE, माई वेरी एनर्जेटिक मदर, तक आपके पास इनर प्लैनेट्स हैं, ठीक है. दे आर स्मॉल एंड रॉकी, एंड आफ्टर मार्स there is an asteroid belt, and that is made of the leftover pieces of the rocks which could not be combined together. And outer four planets just served us noodles. They are huge balls of gas, and these planets are much bigger than the inner planets. ये बात इंपॉर्टेंट है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसलिए मैं इस स्लाइड के ऊपर काफी देर रुका हूँ और काफी मैंने आप लोगों को डिटेल्स बताई. Got it? Is there anything unclear in this slide?
No, sir.
Okay. अब आपने यहाँ पर एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चीज नोटिस करनी है. वी आर मूविंग टुवर्ड सम कैलकुलेशंस. डिस्टेंस एंड टाइम इन सोलर सिस्टम. आपको मैं शायद कल एक रिसर्च के बारे में बता रहा था कि वी हैव डिस्कवर्ड ह्यूज 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 रिजर्वायर ऑफ वाटर व्हिच इज 12 बिलियन लाइट ईयर्स अवे फ्रॉम अस. अब ये जो 12 बिलियन लाइट ईयर्स का वर्ड मैंने बोला, it means something that light years is a big 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 distance covered by light. So आपका जो solar distances हैं, they are not small, 1 इंच 2 इंच 1 किलोमीटर 5 मरले. No. Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
तो मतलब it means something. मैं वैसे ऑन द रिकॉर्ड हूँ, इसलिए मैं आप लोगों को एक मजे की बात बताता हूँ. किसी ने पूछा मून कितना बड़ा है ना, तो किसी ने उसके एग्जांपल दी, यार इतना बड़ा नहीं है, कोई 12-13 DHS बन सकते हैं वहां पे. सो सोलर सिस्टम के लिए ना हम थोड़ा सा अलग के डिस्टेंसेस और अलग की सारी वो डिस्कशंस करते हैं डिस्टेंसेस की. अभी कुछ डिस्टेंसेस आपके यहाँ पे इन्वॉल्व नहीं है, टाइम इन्वॉल्व नहीं है, but till light year you will work. Then we have arc second and parsecs. These all are very very big units. Yes, megaparsecs and each and everything. So distance in the solar system is almost unimaginably big. Imaginably big. The earth is approximately 150 million kilometers from the sun. ये सबसे छोटा डिस्टेंस है, मैं आपको वैसे बताऊं. It is just the light takes very short time to reach from the sun. So earth ये इतना ही है जितना लाइट आपकी, सॉरी, इट इज 400 times than that of the circle of the earth. रेडियस ऑफ द अर्थ का 4,000 टाइम आप कर लो. अब there are some planets which are basically Proxima Centauri, and which is 4.2 light years away from us. अब गेम सारी की सारी लाइट ईयर की है. So on this slide I tried my best to टेल यू समथिंग अबाउट लाइट ईयर, लेकिन उससे पहले यहाँ पर मैं आपको एक लाइट ईयर का एक छोटा सा कॉन्सेप्ट देता हूँ कि व्हाट डज इट मीन बाय लाइट ईयर.
Sir, 1 light year is equals to how many kilometer?
9.2 into 10 is about 25 मेरा ख्याल है. मैंने वैसे मेरा अंदाजा है, बट आई विल लेट यू नाउ टू कैलकुलेट. जस्ट अ सेकंड. लाइट ईयर, द डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड बाय लाइट इन 1 year. ये बात याद रखनी है. इट इज आस्क्ड, लाइट ईयर इज टाइम, डिस्टेंस. देखो ईयर आ रहा है ना, तो बच्चों के जहन में आता है कि यार इट इज टाइम. सो इट इज नॉट टाइम, it is distance. So light year, it is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. Light in 1 year. अब आप देखो आप कैसे कैलकुलेशंस करोगे. ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है. बस हम लोग इसको कंप्लीट करेंगे आज इंशाल्लाह. कैलकुलेशंस ऑफ लाइट ईयर्स. कैलकुलेशंस कैसे करोगे आप लोग. द कैलकुलेशंस आर 3 minutes. कैलकुलेशंस आर, अब देखो लाइट ट्रेवल्स विद द सेम स्पीड, तो आपको डिस्टेंस कैलकुलेट करने के लिए स्पीड का पता होना चाहिए, विच इज 3.0 into 10 is power 8 meter per second. Is it? And then you must know about the time in 1 year. Time in 1 year. Okay. So time in 1 year कितना होता है वैसे किसी को पता है? In seconds. That is, we have 365 days. Then we have 24 hours in a day. ठीक है, ठीक है ना, बात समझ आ रही है.
जी सर. जी.
Then we have 86,400 seconds in a day. तो वैसे अगर आप ऐसा नहीं करते हो तो you can say these are the minutes and then you can multiply it by seconds, so it is your second. तो आपका टोटल कितना हो जाएगा? If you please calculate this all.
Um,
प्रॉपर कैलकुलेशन
31.
करनी है.
Wait, it's 31,536,000.
ईएनजी प्रेस करो. ईएनजी, ईएनजी. इतनी बड़ी वैल्यू मैं लिख नहीं पाऊंगा. मैं आज जस्ट 3 डिजिट्स लिखूंगा और इंटू 10 की पावर लिखूंगा.
Okay, it's 3.15 into 10 to the power 7.
3.15 into 10 is power
7.
8.
7.
7 पक्का.
Yes.
Okay, this is the time. It is the time in seconds. ठीक है, यानी 32 million second almost, you can say. ठीक है, almost, which is almost 32 million seconds. अब आप देखो, एक काम करते हैं. आपको मैंने टाइम बता दिया, ठीक है. परेशान नहीं होना, ये मेरा छोटा सा बच्चा प्री ओ लेवल्स में है, तो इसलिए इसको साथ साथ कैलकुलेशंस करता रहता है ये. अब देखो, आपने डिस्टेंस कैलकुलेट करना है. सो डिस्टेंस क्या होता है? डिस्टेंस इज इक्वल टू स्पीड डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम. इज इट? यानी आप देखो, आपको स्पीड का फॉर्मूला पता हो तो आप कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो. स्पीड इज इक्वल टू डिस्टेंस डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम ना.
जी.
सो डिस्टेंस इक्वल टू स्पीड इनटू टाइम. सॉरी सॉरी सॉरी, माय बैड. इज अ,
जी.
बातें समझ आ रही है बेटा?
जी जी आ रही है.
Very good. So just multiply this number with, for me, 3.0 into 10 raised power 8 into 3.15 into 10 raised power 7. अब मरियम के आंसर, मरियम का क्वेश्चन का आंसर मिल जाएगा से कि व्हाट इज डिस्टेंस इन मीटर्स. 9
9
पॉइंट क्या आंसर आ रहा है कैलकुलेशन?
9.45 into 10 to the power 15.
कितना? 10 पावर
9.45 into 10 to the power 15.
यस मीटर्स. So light year is equal to these much meters. अब इसको प्लेन लैंग्वेज में समझाता हूँ कि एक्चुअली लाइट कवर्स 9.5 into 10 raised power 15 meters in 1 year. बात समझ आ रही है?
जी
Yeah.
This is really important thing for you. अब आप आगे चलिए. Just go through this calculation. If your sun is 150 million kilometer away from you, so calculate how much time is required to reach the light from sun to earth. Simple calculation. आपको मैंने टाइम की कैलकुलेशन दे दी, and time is equals to what? Distance divided by speed, है ना?
Yes.
Distance divided by speed. So distance is 150, 1 2 3 4 5 6 किलोमीटर्स को आप कन्वर्ट कर दो मीटर्स में, सो 3 zeros और लगा दो, एंड डिवाइडेड बाय स्पीड ऑफ लाइट इज 3.0 into 10 raised power 8. जस्ट कैलकुलेशंस बताइए. So it is 500 seconds. कितना आंसर आ रहा है?
500
500 seconds ना. अब आप देखो ये 500 seconds हैं, and if you want to convert it into minutes, divide by 60 कर दो, तो you will get this 8.3 minutes. तो आपको 8.3 minutes पहले यानी 8.3 minutes आपको लगते हैं, 8.3 minutes, ठीक है, सन को देखने में. इफ सन अपीयर्स 8.3 minutes बिफोर, तो तब आप कह सकते हो कि सनराइज हुआ है. एंड व्हेन सन सेट्स यू कैन इमेजिन इट आफ्टर 8.3 minutes, नॉट बिफोर दैट. ये बात याद रखनी है, ठीक है.
सही है
Yeah, got it.
तो इसलिए ये सारी चीजें आप लोगों ने ध्यान में रखनी है. राइट आफ्टर दैट आई विल बी बैक विद माय ऑर्बिट्स एंड एनर्जी फोर्सेस, और इस टॉपिक पे डिस्कशन करेंगे एंड वी विल मूव ऑन. वैसे ये सारी कैलकुलेशंस हमारी नेक्स्ट क्लास की है. तो टिल दिस पॉइंट इफ यू हैव एनी कंफ्यूजन, एनी क्वेश्चन, यू पीपल कैन आस्क मी.
No confusion, sir.
स्पेस फिजिक्स अच्छा टॉपिक है, and you people will enjoy it if you will try to learn it.
Sir, this is the only interesting topic.